Please welcome Lieutenant Governor of Iowa, Kim Reynolds.
Well, good morning, and it is such an honor to have the opportunity to speak with you for a few moments at the 2015 Iowa Ag Summit. You know, I also want to take this opportunity to thank Bruce Rastatter and the Concordia Group and all of the sponsors for making this event possible. You know, having a forum solely dedicated to the issues that are directly affecting farmers is a great opportunity for us to have a national conversation with future leaders about the policies, regulations, trade, technology that impact our farmers and the world in which we live. Farmers and the food and ag industry are vital to the U.S. economy, and in Iowa, we're especially aware of that. You know, though Iowa is small in terms of population, we are truly large in terms of our economic impact. We're extremely proud of our ag heritage as it forms the foundation of many of the innovations that contribute to not only feeding the world, but also fueling and healing. Growing up in St. Charles, Iowa, a small rural town, I had the opportunity to see firsthand the strong sense of community that exists in rural Iowa. My dad farmed, and he worked at John Deere for 40 years. There was a culture of values, a strong work ethic that I saw every day, and a neighbor helping neighbor mindset. In my town, as well as towns all across the state of Iowa, we knew that if someone needed help on the farm, people were willing to step up and lend a helping hand. And that's where I learned a long time ago how important farming was to not only our community, but our schools, our friends, and our family. Rural America, while home to many family farms, also serves as a pathway for global trade. In Iowa, 1 in 5 jobs depend on trade. Our farmers and companies send exports to nearly every country in the world. In fact, when we first took office, we set a goal of increasing Iowa exports by 20% in 5 years. That goal was surpassed in just 2 years, and by the end of 2013, Iowa exports had grown by nearly 28%, and just in 2014, we totaled $15.1 billion in exports. And I think, as the governor said, we are not done yet. You know, as the Lieutenant Governor of Iowa, one of the best parts of my job is having the opportunity to travel the world and highlight Iowa's story with millions of people, not only throughout our country, but around the world. Since taking office, I've had the amazing opportunity to lead trade missions to China, to Germany, South Korea, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Thailand. And without fail, Iowa is recognized for our strong brand, our reputation for producing safe and reliable products. We lead by example when it comes to quality and maintaining the highest standards possible. Through these trade missions, we've established long-term relationships that are resulting in increased exports, more foreign direct investment, and new jobs for Iowans. One of those relationships is with CJ BioAmerica. CJ is a South Korean company that I had the opportunity to call on in one of my first trade missions, and the governor also had the opportunity to call on them in a subsequent trade mission. As a result of those efforts, CJ is located and has invested $320 million in the Fort Dodge area. This plant produces 100,000 metric tons of lysine per year, and the protein is used as a supplement in swine and poultry feed to help the animals grow. Between CJ and Cargill, the plant, those two businesses attribute to nearly 350 quality jobs that have been added to the Fort Dodge workforce. And this is just one example of a success story. In addition to growing our exports, Iowa is capitalizing on our success in agriculture and its research capabilities in plant, animal, and human biosciences. From startup companies to globally respected industry leaders in research and development, Iowa's bioscience enterprises are discovering the innovations that will continue to spur future economic growth. In the last decade, we've made significant progress in growing this industry. In fact, industry experts have stated that no other location in the country has such a complete suite of capabilities for bioscience development. Innovation continues to be at the core of our growth strategy. And while our fertile soil, our positive business climate, sound infrastructure are all critical to Iowa's strength in ag, bioscience, advanced manufacturing, and other industries, there is little doubt that the talented people are the most important element of our strength. As many of you know, today our nation faces a talent crisis, and the food and ag industry has not been spared. The greatest challenge that confronts our generation is to be able to feed a growing global population that will rise from 7 billion to 9 by 2050. Answering the call requires us to develop a human capital pipeline that will invigorate America's entrepreneurial, scientific, and business leadership in food and agriculture so that we can lead the way to global food security. In this, there is enormous opportunity to inspire, to nurture, and to engage young people to passionately pursue food and ag careers. That's why we're investing in education and STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, that will equip our young people with the skills and the competencies needed for the food and ag jobs of today and tomorrow. We must continue to bring together food and agriculture companies, educational institutions, government agencies, and the youth development community. Together, we have enormous potential to drive private investment and public policy making. So far, I've talked about the importance of rural America, exports, trade, bioscience, and our young people. And I'd like to close my remarks by sharing with you sharing a story with you that reflects Iowa's can-do spirit in collaborating with our neighbors to find solutions to challenges, especially the challenge of water quality. Every day, discussions are taking place to improve water quality in Iowa through our Nutrient Reduction Strategy initiative. More than 70 organizations and hundreds of farm families are engaged in proactively improving water quality in Iowa. Through several years of collaboration with many different stakeholders and research through Iowa State University, Iowa's Nutrient Reduction Strategy has been recognized nationally for its effectiveness, and just recently through an award by the National Association of Clean Water Agencies. This is a great example of collaboration, and I again attribute it back to a culture of values and a neighbor helping neighbor mindset that I described in the beginning of my remarks. Iowans as a whole strive to do what's right. We set the bar high for ourselves and others. We make difficult decisions when it's needed, and we hold ourselves accountable. And we take our responsibility to future generations and to this nation seriously. With that in mind, I hope that the Iowa Ag Summit speakers use this forum as a great opportunity to share their vision in regard to policies, regulations, trade, technology, all that are impacting farmers, to commit themselves to partnering with America's farmers through fair trade, reasonable regulations, restoring a robust renewable fuel standard, and I believe that by taking this approach, our nation's food and ag industry will be strengthened and our country's future will be fortified for generations to come. Thank you very much and have a great day at this summit, and thank you for being here.